Today's review, we're going to Beak Brewery down on the south coast of England and a double IPA from them called Wool. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review today. Another double IPA, this time from Beak Brewing. And this is called Wool, as in the knitting stuff. This is a double IPA and it's 8%, and the hops in it, I think there's something going wrong with this, with the types of hops that it says here, because it says it's actually a collaboration with Northern Monk as well. It's a combination of Citra, Sabre and Eldorado hops. Sabre, have you heard of Sabre? No. Or Sabre, I think, S-A-B-R-E, it says Sabre. Sabre hops. So I thought, never heard of them before. It's interesting. Let's have a quick Google, see about Sabre hops. Nothing on Google about Sabre hops at all. You type in Sabre hops, it says, do you mean Sabro hops? No, I want Sabre hops. So you type in Sabre hops, go through them pages and pages. I go through all the Yakima Chief stuff, all the different hops they've got in there. I found some quite new, interesting ones I hadn't heard of before that don't seem to be used, that have been used that much. But I couldn't find Sabre at all. So I'm thinking there might be a typo on the can, and it should be, and instead of an E at the end, it'd be an O, and that'd be Sabro, obviously. So obviously we'll open it up, we'll drink it, and Sabro is one of those sort of hops that if it's in it, you'll know. Okay, so unless Sabre is so new that the internet hasn't even woken up to it either yet, and there's no registered web page about that hop, but as I said, I did quite a lot of searching for it, and that was the reason why I picked this up. I thought, I haven't heard of that hop before, I'll try it. But I don't think that hop actually exists. So let's crack it open, get it in a glass, and see and smell if it's going to have Sabro in it. That's the once we get that out of the way, then we can talk about whether the beer is going to be any good. I was thinking, I don't have many double IPAs from Beak for some reason. I remember having that one, which I have noticed has just literally been rebrewed again, called Triangles, which was from Beak, being the lead brewer, but it was also with Rivington and Verdon, I think. It was a great beer, another one that I had last year. But never really haven't really remember having double IPAs from them. So they make great IPAs. I expect this will be just as good. Well, beer in a glass, there's lots of carbonation sticking to the glass there. I mean, it's a bit strange how much carbonation you've got. It's almost like, is the glass a little bit dirty, because it doesn't quite look as well. But actually, now it's calming down and it is in focus. This is your definite custard. That is as close to custard in a glass as I think you can probably get. And already it's filling the room with aroma. It's got an amazing aroma. Let's sort of dive into it. I'm still not sure if it's got Sabro in it. It smells really good. It's got Eldorado in. I've said it in a couple of videos recently. I've become a massive fan of Eldorado. And it has a very sweet, distinct, very aromatic aroma. Very aromatic. It's very aromatic. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, there's loads going on. I mean, it's just a medley of fruit salads, really. You've got tropical, pineapple, papaya, mango, passion fruit. Yeah, and then there's even the stone fruit, sort of peaches and apricots. There's orange. I'm smelling everything, really. It smells really inviting. I'm not smelling like sort of that woody coconut that you get with Sabro. So maybe it hasn't got Sabro in it. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. No, that's definitely got Sabro in it. That is definitely Sabro. As soon as you taste it, you get that pineapple, you get coconut, you get that sharpness of lime coming through. There's a sort of minty aftertaste, a creamy minty, like a Murray mint. That is Sabro. That is Sabro in all its complexity. It's like a pina colada with a creamy mint and a sharp bit of lime going through it. Mouth-wise, I can't even talk today. Mouthfeel, soft, smooth. It's very, there's a lightness to it, but it's quite oily in its texture. You know, so it's not overly soft, but it's, you know, description is more like oil. It's sort of, I'm thinking of that word, but I can't talk today. I've forgotten how to speak words, but you know what I mean. It's that, if you think of oil and that sort of texture, that's what this is like. And flavour wise, it's full of it. I mean, it's a double IPA, packs of flavour. It's tropical, loads of the tropical stuff, loads of stone fruits. And like I said, in the flavour, you've got that Sabro hop in there. So you've got all that pineapple and coconut and lime and mint. It's creamy mint. It's not like a fresh mint. It's like a sort of creamy mint, like a Murray mint. That's the only way I can describe it, really. I think, you know, the thing is, some descriptions of Sabro, when I was looking at these hops earlier, they call it like a, you know, that was called, what do they call it? Oh, I'm trying to remember what it called. Like an ice cream soda or something like that. That's how they characterize the flavor. And that is it. There's a creaminess to it. What with the coconut and the pineapple, it is, to me, it's like a bit like a Murray's Mint. There's a little bit of booze on the back end. Not too much, but there's just a little bit of warmth there. Could be the hoppiness, could be the alcohol, but it doesn't detract from the flavour. I'm just like over-analysing it. What you get is a perfect double IPA in terms of loads of flavour. We know there's got we know from the flavour there's Sabro in it, and it is quite dominant. But again, it's kept a little bit in check. I mean, I've had beers recently with Sabro in it that's kept more in check. This is definitely up front, but the Citra is doing lots of work as well around the outside of it, and the El Dorado is bringing that sort of sweetness to it as well. So, I mean, I suppose El Dorado, it obviously doesn't have the sort of coconutty bit to it, but the flavours are quite similar in that sweet flavours, tropical flavours. So we're all getting that mash up together to create a beer with intense flavour, smooth, oily body. Yeah, I mean, look at that. There's no head on that at all, but that is a lovely coloured beer. Lovely flavour. If you don't like Sabro, though, you won't like it. It's heavy on the Sabro flavours. But I was just in the mood for Sabro tonight, and I think this is a great beer. So, let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Wool. It's not wool as in like the wall, as in that, as a brick thing. It's wool. It's an Essex thing, you know. If you don't understand that, wool, it all sounds the same. But this is wool as in the knitting stuff. And this is from Beak. And we've got Citra, Sabro and El Dorado. As I said, in collaboration also with Northern Monk. There's not much Northern Monk writing on it. It's only when you're in the blurb that you see it, but there's not even got the logo or anything on it. This is a good beer. It says it's got Sabre in it, or Sabri, which doesn't exist. It's definitely Sabro. So I think they've got a little bit of a printing error there. But even when, and obviously a lot of beer shops, they when they do the description on the websites and stuff, they literally take this and they just put it on there. So everywhere you see on the internet, it all says Sabre or Sabre. I think it'd be Sabre. Sabre opposed to Sabre, but it's obviously Sabro. Yeah, so they all say that as well, so that doesn't help with the old YouTube thing. But I can't see, Beak have not come out and said, I'm sure even on Beak's website. No, I don't know if they actually, I'm trying to think whether it was on Beak's website as well. A strange one. Anyway, it's a great beer, so let's get some scores. Starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money, this was $6.99. And finally, my overall experience. We took the scores up. It's another double IPA that gets a highly recommended total score. Yeah, it's a very good beer. We've had better. I think if you wanted something a bit more dank and you wanted something a little less sweet and you didn't like Sabro, then I think that would really affect your appreciation and your enjoyment of this beer. But for me, I like Sabro. I couldn't drink 3 or 4 beers after the other with Sabro in it. It's too much. But one beer with Sabro, it's got so much flavour in it. And it's almost like, now it's warmed up in the glass. It's amazing how quickly I've left it out. But when you first pour it and drink it, to one drink, which was only 10 minutes ago, and now I'm drinking it now, it's developed so much in the glass, in the fact that it feels it's a little bit more warmed up. It's still cold, but it's not as cold, even in 10 minutes. And then the flavours now even coming out even more. And it's just moreish beyond belief, even though, and I said before that I think there's a bit of alcohol in it, but I don't know where I got used to it now. I think it's more the hoppiness. I'm not really picking up that alcohol now. It's just so moreish and fruity. I can see where people drink double IPAs all the time, because when you start drinking more of these sort of beers, everything else becomes lacking in flavour. But because this has got so much flavour to it, there's nothing missing in terms of flavour with this beer at all. It's full on juice and tropical notes, and I think it's great. And say 82 out of 100, that's a pretty good score. And let's face it, Beak make bloody good beers. You can't go wrong with Beak. I think the only beer that I've had from them, which wasn't a massive fan of, I had it sort of in the last year or so, was Parade, which is their core beer. You drink that and you think it's not as good as their other stuff. It's just one of those sort of beers that's just drinkable, but it doesn't add anything extra. But I've had so many good beers from Beak over the years that it's they've got to be up. They're up there with, they're in my top 10. I think they may even fit into my top 5 last year. I can't remember exactly where they came, but they're a very good brewery. They make great beers. A little bit more expensive, I think, than some of the other breweries. I'd say this was $6.99. Yeah, I mean, I bought £7.50 beers, certainly from Track. I still haven't drank Putty. This will probably come out before Putty, but we're into February now. We're getting close to March, and I haven't even drank it. I even had it for about 3 or 4 weeks. I wanted to leave it a lot longer. But anyway, what I was going to say was that Putty, I think I paid £8.75 for a can. That is ridiculous. And I've seen the triples out now, and that's like 12 quid a can. I mean, 12 quid for a can of beer. I mean, you want all that flavour for that, and you want to sip it and make it last. But, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm feeling that I'm going, every time I record a video, I think I'm going to make it a little bit more short and snappy, and it ends up being 15 minutes long. So I hope you've managed to stay this far, and if you have, well, give yourself a thumbs up. And if you've got any fingers left, then give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please think about subscribing. Lots of beer videos coming up. I think now, as I'm here now in February, you're probably going to get this in March, maybe. We're getting near the summer. The weather is warming up, and when it warms up, I get thirstier and I enjoy beer, and hopefully we'll be starting to get back to the sort of 5 times a week beer reviews. Well, we'll see how that goes. But until the next one, you know what you do. Drink good craft beer, and of course, keep on rocking.